I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Hope you had a good week and a good day today. And we discussed this yesterday. You got to go watch yesterday's video. I'm sorry it was 50 minutes. But I gave you the fire and I told you exactly what was going to happen today. And we executed on that logic. So all 11 of you, all right, you go watch yesterday's video. You'll see I was discussing it around this mark, actually, that, I assume that Friday is going to, and this video is too good not to make it. So I got to make it. But we talked about Friday, and I'll make this short, by the way. I wanted to see most likely Friday still make the high of the week. Thursday is a probability of it being the high of the week, but it's more likely that it's going to be Friday. So we expected a bullish push through. And then I talked about even this liquidity here, these guys up here. And then I said, well, let's just pretend like the high of the week ended up being right here, right? The high here. And then I want to see it retrace back in to 20% to 40% or something like that, right? And we did that. We ended up coming close to the 50% of this gap here. We swept all that, and then we just sold off. I'm making the video early, obviously. And I don't make videos on Friday, but I wanted to make this before I go. And then we came right back to 20%. So let's take a look at the fire. So first, initially, I'm gonna be real with you. This was fucking horrible for me. We came in with this push right here, and I tried to buy this, got swept here. I left it alone, tagged in right here, swept me again. I'm not putting my stop loss all the way here. I just got out. And then by the time, and very similar to yesterday's conversation, that we got an up and down and balanced price range here at this point with this boner candle. We understand, okay, now we have direction, right? And this was a shift here. I was bullish the whole time. So I wasn't looking to sell only because I talked about us wanting to have a body closure above all this, right? The weekly, more importantly on the daily side. So, the day's not even over, so we'll see what it does. But that was kind of like the tipping hand for me to be bullish. And also, when you looked at Asia and London, this is a consolidation. So if it's a consolidation, I'm looking for an expansion afterwards. So this was pretty much right here. This was kind of like your raid here. It did not raid this, and that was on purpose. And then you'll see when I show the other assets. But we're also sitting on this old gap. There's an old gap right here. See this? So there's a gap right there. It's right there, and we're kind of sitting on top of it, and then we're kind of bouncing on the 50%. Not pretty or anything, but look at the 4 hour. 4 hour tells you right there. Look how it's closed, and it stays. And the next one opens on that 4 hour, dude. So that's the 6 to 10 o'clock candle, and previous to 2 to 6 o'clock candle, right? So look at it, right? So I understand that this is just support, and even then. Dude, I was trying to buy these, and dude, the whipsaw of these candles, they were like 50 fucking point candles. And I was like, bro, fuck off, dude. I, at one point, I almost got upset because I was like, dude, But anyways, by the time it pushed up here, now I got the first imbalance right here, and it's debatable if it's really this one. And to be honest, it should be this one. Because it's got more of meat on it. This is a very small imbalance, but it is also the first. So we were up and down, and we don't really have direction in this range. So if it was started doing this, then it's like obviously selling. And then as we stayed up and then we started pushing up, I'm using this first imbalance as where are we going to go from it? And then you could see here it's working right here. So you see the down candle, 50% respecting, bouncing on it right there, came up, bouncing on it perfectly right there. This is my entry here, right? For it retracing into the first imbalance. I wanted to see just in case it went underneath it, and then it pretty much stayed above it, right? So that's how I entered here. And then where is my target? Obviously, I talked about, well, obviously you got this liquidity that's sitting there, right? Previous day high, and look at the circle that I have specifically The circle is what? Highlighting obviously the low of the gap, right? And then I'm encompassing yesterday's high. I'm encompassing the whatever time this was, the Asia high right there. See that? So that's the low of what I'm trying to highlight. And then the high is I'm highlighting the upper gap. And I understand that, see the liquidity right there? This guy right here. See these guys right here? So if you go look on that in a smaller time frame, which you'll see, it's just liquidity, right? So that does it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Sure enough, panned out beautifully. It's just that's a high, that's a higher low. You get your drives back, shift in market structure with this here, deep pullback, and then there's your higher low and gone, right? So then I also mentioned yesterday, very clear. I said you want to stay above this for the bullish side, right? Which is the first imbalance of the year. Okay. But really my goal was just to get above this and, just call it a fucking day. Cause this shit right here was rough, rough. I mean, when I tell you rough, dude, I was like, damn. But, at the same time, if you let it work itself out, obviously you'll see the direction plus everything I just mentioned about Friday, right? So then you can see here, we come up in here, we retrace. Normally I would have got out here and then try to buy again. But I was like, nah, I'm just going to hold it. So that was my decision. But you could see that, we retrace back. Look at the bodies hovering right above this current week's gap. Not a coincidence. Boom, takes off, goes right up into it. I'm squeezing out. Beautiful fucking trade. Now, next trade. This is what I told you in the video yesterday. So here, I would have tried to re-enter here, but it's not only is it early, but I was just kind of content and didn't want to play with it, and I didn't buy it. I should have bought this because it was pretty clear what we were doing. It's algorithmic delivery where we're coming above it, the gap, this little gap right here. We're coming above it. That's liquidity, and that's yesterday's high. So they love to get P traders in. For I think I mentioned this in the last video or the one before that, where it's a scam. But it works. I mean, it's so they induce you to try to get involved, and that's I don't trade that way, but I understand it. And you can see it here working here. So we're on top of that yesterday's high. This was another entry. This is coming right back to that imbalance perfectly. I didn't buy it, so. But just you get some more drives up, shoots all the way to almost 50%, falls on purpose, short of it. And at this point, you are now inside that rejection wick that open. When that candle crosses over, that's an entry method, and someone's either got their stop or their that was their entry method. That's the coincidence, not a coincidence how we come right to that area. So we get this little kind of displacement candle right here. And now it's London close, okay? And this is the 25 quadrant right there. And then that's the 50% of that gray gap that's above here. And you can see this bearish imbalance pretty much strong. And we dip into it, right? We break again. Then we get this. There's an inversion here with a bullish. I didn't highlight it, but I'm marking the bearish imbalance. So initially, when I took this sell here initially, and then came down, got into this imbalance here, and then this one, and then it just broke through. So they came outside of the gap and they colored outside the line. It was an oversold, and then I'm trying to gun for this area over here. And sure enough, they fucking whipped it all the way back. And in general sense, this is just a lower high that it's creating. So I have to allow that, but I ended up getting stopped out. And I ended up re-entering. So this is me re-entering again, actually. Which, I didn't need to put my stop here to lose. I'd rather just re-enter. So what did it do? It wicked, came down, wicked one more time. Sweeping that liquidity and then closing back in and then falling down right back to the low of that gap. That's an old ass gap. Okay. I'm still using it. Who's got this on their chart? I can guarantee you 99% of people do not have this on their chart. But and this is the benefit of how I'm able to do what I do, and you're not able to see anybody on the fucking internet do what I do, because I have this. Yeah, I might have to suffer with some type of analysis paralysis, and it might be too much shit on the chart and blah 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 blah. But guess what? I'm getting details here that no one is seeing. So as you see, we come down right at hair outside the gap. We come right back to the 25%. I'm using this as a bullish inversion. So I don't want to see price go any farther or close farther, right? And as you can see, that was like the last resort right there. And then breaks down. Wicks bodies are now underneath. That's the characteristic. And then it starts to hunt. Where do you see my target here? I fucked this up by trailing it, but where do you see my target? Oh, by the way, obviously the 20%. That's that big red line right there, the first big red line. Look where it's laying on. Look what it's laying on. What is it laying on? This is the current week high opening gap right there. Look where the 20% is. That's mathematics. Gotta be. That's perfect. It's literally exactly the same level. So you know it's coming to that 20%. Missed it by like a tick. But that's where it's coming, right? And this is what I said yesterday in the video. This is exactly what I said yesterday. So wherever it fucking is and stops, I want to see a sell off back to that 20%. I mean, it didn't go any lower, but it came to 20%. Right? Can't make that shit up, bro. But anyways, and what am I doing here? I'm just, it's a retracement. This is a breakout area. So that's goes back to what I was saying about the people who buy on or in the retests on daily highs or whatever, which is fine and everything, but I'm not holding that. I mean, if it's a breakthrough, it's okay, cool, it works out. But generally speaking, that's why we don't have daily imbalances. A lot of daily imbalances. That's why you'll see it rebalance. And what does this mean? What am I doing here? Well, I'm trailing as soon as it goes underneath that. Right? Because I understand that this is what they're attacking. So the guy who bought here, which could have been me too, but I would have been out, and then they're hunting right back for that. And this is a simple breakout area. I mean, it's an expansion here, and and this is a sell for a retracement. There's no other way to make that any simpler. And then sure enough, it came right down. Let's take a look what we did today. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. Ooh, look at that. Missed it by a hair. You think they did that on purpose? Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Midnight level here too as well, which is beautiful. And you can see that it sucked. And again, I had to re-enter, but hey, what am I going to do? There's no other way to get around it, but me looking at the retracement as a simple logic. This is not rocket science. So I'm looking at it like higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, all the way up. And then now we're looking for a retracement. When on the right side coming back, you're going to see a lower low, lower high. That's the control of price right here. It fans this way. Then you get the lower low, lower high. So it has to come up. I have to allow it to be able. Would I have wanted? Did I want to see it come this high? Fucking no, I don't. Right? But it is what it is. But I was still had the conviction of the bias. Anyways, let me move forward because this was not meant to be a long video. I want to be done. And then this was wild. As you can see, look at the VIX here. This fucking bullshit ass manipulation that they were doing. They know we know. They know we know. How am I able to tell you what's going to happen yesterday? And then here, I got fucking 2 executions and showing you that it works. That it worked. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm not the only smart person on the planet here, obviously, right? So whipsawing all this, and then while we're pushing up, this VIX is coming down, and very similar yesterday, rolls right up while we're selling. Which you saw me catch the buy while this is coming down, and then you saw me catch the sell while this is coming, and I kept it that simple. Am I still involved? No. Did it bounce up again? Yeah. Am I going to sit here for fucking hours and watch the chart until midnight? I'm not one of those people, dude. Like I pay attention and I get and it's practice at the end of the day by watching the chart. But there's a point where I just fuck off. Like I don't need to trade anymore in the day, right? Like I'm very content. But for the people who are just sitting there constantly watching it and you got nothing else to do, you gotta go outside and touch grass and do something else. Just that simple. Anyways, I hope that makes sense, right? And then dollar just sinking. So I said that didn't look good, and sure enough, that was kind of helping us push ups. Nvidia was also a factor of us helping push up. Here I didn't even look at this. I had a problem with my computer. I won't even get into it. Where are we at here? Didn't use this at all, but here we had lower lows here. This was so lower lows here. Initially kind of push us up. But I know it looks scary, right? It's like who the fuck wants to buy that? But because they already swept liquidity from yesterday's here, that's kind of like your it's built liquidity too. But and then not really helpful here, but this was a lower low here, or lower high, I'm sorry. And they took this out, didn't they? Yeah. Here. And well, you could look at it a couple ways, but that took that out, but it didn't take this out. But you could even say that, right? It's fine on a higher time frame, I'm sure, whatever. And then you also had this right here. So this lower high here, these are higher highs, and it didn't matter. As you see, I'm basically using, I'm using the logic of that weekly range percentage, and a dip back. Because why? I mean, everyone's holding the fucking bag, so it's coming back deep. Obviously, this they came fucking, over 50% here of that weekly range, right? And that's that. Obviously, we saw them sweep that right there to the tick. Look at that, bro. Well, this is why I don't fuck with Dow. Why do you want to trade this? Why? Anyways, straight dump first. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at it. Do you have any idea where it's going? No. Unless you're you realize like something like this, right? Like when you get a breakthrough here, but it's just like, dude, resistance for the 930. And fuck off. Dow can definitely fuck off. Let's see here. And then they left this hanging, and it was just pretty much an inside day in a way for S&P. So you expect a big move for Monday. I talked about this, and that maybe the following week will be pushing back down. For seasonality reasons, I think it'll come back down, and I gotta be done. I wanted to make this short, dude. That was my whole point of doing this fucking video. And as you can see, we retrace back into 20%. Uglier. This is definitely uglier. Okay, let's look at it. Here's 930, comes back. Look how they don't sweep that low, dude. Little shift, that's fine. It's a higher low, but you don't know until what? Until here. So it's gone here. Nice, easy support, breakout level, bounces up, and does take out that high, which is cool, I guess. Look, same, but this is still consolidating. So we got lucky with the extra high, which is great, dude. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would anybody want to do that any other way? But and then back to Nvidia, and we're fucking bold face pushing up, and so that was kind of like the tipping point for me, my decision to buy, and that's really that. Came here, and now we're sitting in the range here, and the week is over. So, and let's move this over. Can it be a coincidence? Can it be a coincidence? I doubt it. It can't be, bro. It can't. So it's referencing. So what did the learning lesson of January in the beginning of the year where we create that. We will come up, come down. We create it up, down. We're above it. You wanted to see it. We're bullish, so at the sense, you wanted to see it push up. Oh, and I mentioned that we would want to get to that 75% of that range. Remember that range from here to here? And then we're 75%. Look to the right. Look to the right. Look to the right. See that? Ah. So I understood that as well when I took the sell where we were. Oh, and before I even roll off here, 540 is the low of the day. So if I expect 300 points to be an average daily range, it's actually more. It was 4 something. But if I was to say 300 points is an average daily range, where did it go? Where did it go? Where'd it go? What's this? 845? Oh boy, you don't say. That's 300 points. So that's why I was a little irked that I didn't buy this one to get up to 840. And whatever. It is what it is. I cannot. This is as perfect as I can get, and I'll never be perfect. And I had an issue my whole life with perfection, and being right, and all these things, and it still affects me every day. So, but I have to remember to say it's all good. It's all fucking good. Who cares? Who cares? Why do I say that? Because there's going to be moves every day, and the better you get at trading, dude, the 10 of you that are watching this, and you're not profitable, I can tell that you're probably not profitable, most likely. I would say maybe a majority, which is sad because I'm not teaching correctly or something. That was my whole point of making this video or this channel, was to help people, right? 20, I like that. But what do you notice the main situation? You're probably getting really good at analysis, but what's the real factor? You're getting in your own way. You're fucking over trading. You're getting in your own fucking way. You're making these mistakes that you constantly make every day, right? Gotta be. And how do you stop that? Stop fucking making them, and you remember these mistakes. Like the old me, I'd be trying to sell this. It's like, why? I'm not going to fight the movement. All right? I'm not going to fight it. Oh, the price is down here. It's got to be selling. And I'm constantly married to selling. Why? Because you're focused on, you're so focused on this liquidity here and all this everybody bought here. No, listen. No. Just follow the flow. Keep it simple. We're naturally buying anyway, but and then you're trying to catch it's like, no, buy it. You know what I'm saying? And then here, you're like, okay, I gotta buy this one, and I gotta buy this one, and I gotta buy this one, and it's like you're missing the simple fucking flow of an expansion to a retracement. Someone asked me, what's your strategy? I'm like, higher highs and higher lows, bro, buying, and lower lows and lower highs selling. Fucking, that's it. You keep it that simple, especially with Nas. Everybody else can fuck off. But anyways, I am talking too much, and I've said enough, and you already know what to expect if you watch the last videos for maybe next week. If I take a look here, we are now at the 23rd, so it'll be 24, 25 on Sunday, 26 on Monday. The last week is going to be very interesting. And I'm going to say that we're going to dump and pump. So you want to know, well, the seasonality wise, I've already went through this, so I'm not going to keep doing it. But I just have a feeling that we're going to do this. Some, I don't know, dude. I don't know how deep, but this is what the rest of the month looks like. Last 5 days of the month. Does this break it here? Does it shoot down? And I'm expecting a gap to probably a gap next week. But the data shows this. Does it come down this far, or does it not come down this far, or do we initially roll up first? And then. But this is what it looks like. Let me see. So dump, and then, yeah, man. Right now, by the way, right now the 5 year and the 15 year are more accurate. And right now, I'm just gonna say the 15 year is more accurate right now, and the 15 year is basically what I'm even showing you now. You guys take care. God bless.